Hi, friends. Today we are going to understand the next part of job application and biodata. In the previous period, we understood the initial components of this topic. Now, in this period, we are going to understand the further important components, the elements of the job application and biodata. So, moving forward, let me explain you the important points. After writing the appealing letter, then we have to enclose, we have to attach biodata. So first, heading should be there, title should be there, biodata. It should be in the bold letters, capital letters, and then leaving one line, there should be a name, and afterwards dash should be there, and we have to write the applicant's name, that should be full name. And then downside, close to left margin, left side, father's name should be written. Then date of birth in a expanded form. After date of birth, then address, we have to write our full address. And then followed by age, so we have to mention years in view of our age. Then contact number, then email id, and then nationality, that's Indian. Then marital status, whether married or unmarried. And then qualification. So here qualification should be mentioned in the tabular form. Here columns are there. In first column, name of the examination, then name of the board or university, name of the institution, and then year of passing. So this should uh, then afterwards percentage should be there. So these are the heads, these are the titles, and under these titles, so details should be inserted in the tabular form. And year wise, qualification should be mentioned. And then after qualification, the work experience should be noted down. It should be written from the latest to the oldest along with the duration. With this work experience, then these things should be mentioned in the biodata. After work experience, then the achievements of the applicant, then language known, skills, weaknesses, hobbies, references, declaration. So these things should be added in declaration. So he should applicant should mention that whatever information is noted or declared, so that is true to his understanding, true to his knowledge. And he bear the responsibility of whatever information rendered in the biodata and application. And then leaving a line, date and place should be mentioned. And again leaving a line, that's a signatory, signature should be mentioned. So the one more very important note we have to keep in our mind: the resume can be a part of the letter or as an enclosure. One thing we have to understand, that biodata is an enclosure or an attachment with the initial letter or a forwarded letter. Dear students, now let me explain you or put forward some of the important tips to attempt a question on job application and biodata. So here are some important guideline for you, some of the very important tips for solving the questions based on the job application and biodata. Here are the few valuable tips for you to attempt the class 11th, 12th English writing skills, job application and biodata question in a better way. First, make sure you double check for grammatical accuracy and spellings. They carry marks. So this is the first tip we have to keep in our mind, that we have to avoid spelling mistakes, and we have to follow the grammatical accuracy because they hold marks. Then leave adequate number of lines between paragraphs to make it look clean. Then the presentation of the letter or biodata should be act 1, that should be in a presentable manner. So we have to leave number of lines between the paragraphs. so that look clean, that look very clear, and that bring the okay effectiveness with our letter or biodata. And then the third tip or third point, underlining the main points is a very important. So underlining the key points, the important points, so that is also very important one. But it is advised to do it after finishing your exam. Use a pencil or a scale for underlining. So after completing all the questions, after covering question paper, then in last 10 minutes or last in 5 minutes in the examination, with the help of pencil and scale, very important points we have to underline. So this will bring more impact in the answer sheet. Then the next point, presentation is very important. So presentation hold its own importance, because it is needed in the examination at the time of answering the questions. That's why presentation should be apt, and it should be in a well manner. Next point, read a lot of letters to get an idea. So reading makes a man perfect. We have to read as much as such type of letters, and as much as information about various types of questions, and as well as how they are solved, how the solutions to such questions based on biodata and job application. Even we can go through the previous question papers, and as well as how they can be solved. So this practice should be there, so that brings good knowledge, that brings confidence among us. The next tip, that's very important one, never mention any of your personal details. So personal details should be avoided. What mentioned in the question paper, so that should be noted down. No any personal details should be shared in the exam, in the answer sheet. We have to take care about this thing. For example, name, school name or address. So this our original name, school or address, so uh, this should not be noted down, this should not be written in the exam, in the answer sheet. Next, never write in one go. So we have to avoid in one go. Make sure you follow the right format and make paragraphs. So the right format we have to follow. The correct pattern should be brought on the paper, and we have to make paragraphing should be apt one, that should be a correct one. So we have to take care of the three paragraphs or two paragraphs, what should be there in the paragraphs, how the sentence should be constructed, how the language should be formal and precise and to the point. So these points should be taken care. Next point, don't use slang or short form. So we have to avoid our habit of writing slang, or many times we follow short forms. So this should be avoided. Never such type of slangs or short form should be used. The next point, next tip, that's a try not to exceed the prescribed word limit, that's 150 to 200 words. So always we have to keep in our mind that we should not exceed the word limit, and that's for long writing tasks. Word limit is 150 to 200 word. So this should not be crossed at any cost, in any circumstances, in any situation. We have to be uh, below word limit. We should not cross or we should not exceed the word limit. Now let's understand how a question based on job application and biodata will appear in the exam, and how it can be solved. So here is a question. Bal Vidya Public School, Bhilai, urgently requires a postgraduate teacher to teach political science, for which they have placed an advertisement in the Bhilai Express. You are Sanjay oblique Sanjana Sharma from 20 One, Vasant Mark Bhilai, draft a letter including a CV applying for the advertise post. Word limit 120-150 words. And this question appeared in the annual exam, uh, that's a 2018. So this is the question, and you might have understood how the question appear and what details they provide. So what are our inputs here, and then with this input, with this question, how the job application and resume or CV or biodata should be drafted. So here we have solved. So let's see how the solution of this question can be. Dear students, here is the solution of the question. Here the let's see how the format is followed. The letter begins with the sender's address. So as per the details in the question, the address of the writer or a sender is mentioned here, or applicant's address is mentioned here. That's 21 Vasant Mark Bhilai. This is a sender's address. Then a leaving line close to the left margin, date is mentioned, that the 1st March 2000 XX. And then leaving one line, the receiver's address is mentioned, and the receiver is the principal. The designation is required, the principal, Bal Vidya Public School, then Bhilai. So this is a send receiver's address is mentioned here, and then followed by subject. So subject should be written in a single line, and that should clear, that should be act 1, that should be, so no confusion with the subject. The reader should understand what is the letter about. Subject, application for the post of postgraduate teacher. So here subject is mentioned in a very, okay, in good word, in a very right word, thus in a limited words, subject is mentioned here. So there is a no any confusion, there's a no any doubt can arise in the mind of a reader. And then salutation is there, living line, sir oblique madam. So this is a salutation. And then the first paragraph of the job application is drafted here. Let's see how it has started. There is initial formal expression is there: in response to your advertisement in the Bhilai Express dated February 25th 2000 for a post of a PGT teacher, political science teacher, in your renowned school, I wish to offer my candidature. This first paragraph has started with the details that when the applicant read the advertisement and what was the source, that's a Bhilai Express newspaper, and the date is mentioned here, and even the post name is also mentioned here. And then he has expressed his wish to offer his candidature. I am enclosing a copy of my biodata for your perusal and kind consideration. So this is the first paragraph, and then he has mentioned that he has enclosed a copy of biodata for the perusal and kind consideration. And then the second paragraph: I am available for the interview on any day of your convenience if given a chance to serve you. Then he has mentioned his availability for the interview, that he could attend at any day of their convenience if given a chance to serve you. I assure you that I shall work with utmost sincerity and dedication up to your satisfaction. Here he has assured that if he would be selected, so how he would serve in the institution with the utmost sincerity and dedication. So he would render his services to the institution up to their satisfaction. So this is in a very good words, in a very right words, he has expressed his offer, or he has mentioned that how it would be when he might be selected for the post. Then complimentary ending, that's thank you or with high regards can be there. And then the closure, yours faithfully. Then the name is mentioned there, and downside after a name. So enclosure, that's a biodata that is mentioned here. So this is the appealing letter. This is the forwarding letter. We can call it as the first part of the job application. This can be labeled as a job application, and then followed by biodata. So biodata is enclosure, it is an attachment to the job application. Already we have understood what format is for biodata. So this is called as a job application, and now we are going to understand about the biodata. Now let's understand how biodata can be developed in respect to this question. As per format and pattern, it has begun with a name. Name, this title is written in the bold letters, in the capital letters, and then dash, and then name is first name is written, and there's a surname is there, followed by father's name. So father's name is mentioned here. uh, First name, that's Sanjay or Sanjana Sharma, and then father's name Mithun Sharma, and then date of birth dash, that's 25th July 1984, and then followed by address 21 Vasant Mark Bhilai. So this is the address of the applicant, and then contact number is mentioned here. The initial 4 5 numbers are noted down there, and the following numbers, so instead of numbers, x's are mentioned there. And then email, applicant's email is mentioned there, Sanjay Sharma @gmail.com. Then marital status, that's single is his marital status. Then age, in the form of years, that it is noted down, 28 years. Nationality, that's a Indian, it's there. Then academic qualification, so this should be mentioned or written in the tabular form. The previously format is there, and in the format, how it should be developed or how it should be presented, so that as per format, there it should be there. So always the academic qualification should be in the tabular form, and then name of the examination, then university or board, then year, and then percentage. So under these titles names, academic qualification should be mentioned here. Here it's a actual, here it's not there, but one care we have to take, that it should be always in the tabular form. Followed by hobbies. So here trekking and reading, these hobbies are mentioned. Then strengths, good communication skill, computer literate, proficient in English, Hindi and German. So applicant is well known with the Hindi and German, and he is good at uh, English and computer literate, good communication skill. So what things, what strength he possesses, so that's it is mentioned there. The name and address of references, here at least two names should be mentioned. That's the name and address of references. Mr. Vijay Mathur, principal, DAV school, Gurudwara Road, Delhi. uh, these are the respected people, these are revered people, whom the applicant is well known, uh, whom applicant is has acquaintance. So this is just for reference purposes. At least two names should be mentioned with the designation and with the address. First name, that's a Mr. Vijay Mathur, principal, and then the second name, Mr. Satish Ohri, head of commerce department, Punjab University, Chandigarh. So these two names related to the reference or acquaintance to the applicant are mentioned. So this is biodata. With this, I hope that you have understood how a question based on a job application will be there and how it should be solved in the appealing letter and in the form of a biodata. Okay, students, now thank you for watching this video.